Hi, welcome back to Far From Eden. Today we are going to begin to read an article together that I have not read yet. So I'm going to be reacting, and it's entitled 10 Things Men Do in Relationships When They Have Low Self-Esteem. Now, it's written by a woman, because aren't you guys so excited when women tell you how to be a man? That seems like it's all there is women saying, this is how to be a man, this is how to be a man, this is how to be a good man. Oh, that's toxic masculinity, that's wrong. Women, stop telling men how to be men. You don't want them telling you how to be women, do you? Pretty sure they don't like that. But at least when men do it, they're accurate. 10 things men do in relationships when they have low self-esteem. Bear with me because I don't have my new glasses yet, so I'm kind of blind. She starts off with, her name is, I don't know how to pronounce it, Sonetta, last name Weston. Yeah, it's a female giving us this advice. Men with low self-esteem tend to see unresolved issues rear their ugly head, especially when they're in romantic relationships. Well, that's generic. Duh. I think that's everybody. Wow. If you're dating a man who does these things, chances are he's struggling with his He's struggling with his self-worth and needs to focus on boosting it before he can be a fulfilled person or a good partner. This just seems like the baloney that women tell each other. So I haven't learned anything so far. Have you? I'm bad. I know I'm so bad. Men with low self-esteem often find themselves apologizing constantly, even for things that aren't their fault. It's like they're always on the back foot, thinking they've done something wrong. This excessive apologizing can stem from a fear of conflict or a deep-seated belief that they're always to blame. Well, women are telling them they are always to blame, so funny that they would think that. Oh my goodness. While owning up to mistakes is admirable, over-apologizing can actually undermine their credibility and make their genuine apologies seem less sincere. She gets to decide what you should be apologizing for and what you shouldn't, and which apologies are sincere or are not sincere. It seems clear to me so far. It's crucial to recognize when an apology is really warranted and when it's a symptom of deeper insecurities. Well, again, it's pretty generic. I'm a person who apologizes. Some could say maybe a little too much. I'm a woman. I'm agreeable. But the thing is, where I know you guys are like, he's just being a simp if he does that. And yeah, I mean, when the man is constantly like, oh, I'm sorry, you okay? I'm sorry. It's like, it's for us women, I'm not going to tell a man how to be, but I can tell you that yes, when you're constantly apologizing for things and you seem unsure, like what you should be apologizing or that it's all your fault, we take that as a lack of confidence. And therefore it's a lack of leadership. And that is off-putting to females, just biologically speaking. We would depend, before industrialization and stuff, we are mammals, so the female needs to depend on a strong male's leadership, and to do that you have to be confident. You can't be like, Is that a predator? I don't know if it's a predator. I'm sorry, I thought it was a predator. You can't have that. And so as women, we react to that just automatically. And so that's not a thing for her, I guess. Number 2, remember, these are things that the men should not do. You guys are going to like this one. I just glanced at it. Oh my God. They lavish their partners with material gifts. Aren't women constantly like, I need to be... Remember the cheesecake chick, right? So if he would have taken her to a nice restaurant, that's too much. So let me let the wise lady talk. Let me just, maybe she's easing us into this. Maybe I need to be patient. We'll see. Sorry, my computer's giving me a dumb message and I don't know what it is. All right. Showering partners with gifts might seem generous, but when it's excessive, it can be a sign of low self-esteem. These men might feel they need to buy love or affection because they don't believe they're enough on their own. While gifts are a lovely part of a relationship, relying on them heavily can create an imbalance. It's nauseating to say the words. I'm just letting you know, like, this is not enjoyable to say these, whatever. It can create an imbalance. It's important for them to realize that true emotional connection and mutual respect are about more than just material things. I wonder if she knows what it's about, or if it's just vague. Again, isn't this just number 2 is another example of simping? I wonder if all 10 of these are going to be, simping. So far, it's just don't be a simp. Who knew? But we're not supposed to use that word. Good gracious. Okay, number 3. Want a partner? Attract love with the power of your mind. Sweeten, SWEETN, that's what it says, is a new research-based startup that shows you how to call, oh my God, to call love into your life with the power of your mind. Take our quiz and try our tools. They can transform your energy and your love life in a few weeks. Just click here. Okay, it was an ad, but it's not like supposed to be an ad. That's number 3. You guys, let's just move forward. Let's move forward. I feel like this whole, use the power of your mind, manifest, all that, I feel like that's a whole different video. So let's continue before we lose too many brain cells on that one. Let's lose brain cells on the next one. Number 4, they downplay their achievements. Well, if the guy's talking about his achievements or seeming confident, the women are like, he only talks about himself. You can't win. You cannot win. Infuriating. Okay, so they downplay their achievements. Let's play along. Men with low self-esteem often have trouble accepting and acknowledging their own successes. They might brush off compliments or downplay their achievements. It's as if they can't believe they're genuinely deserving of accolades. Has she met men? Ever? Does she know any? Maybe she doesn't let them speak. I'm not sure. This behavior not only diminishes their accomplishments, but can also prevent them from recognizing their own worth. Celebrating achievements, no matter how small, is a key step in building self-confidence and self-esteem. She sounds like a kindergarten teacher. Did you ever notice that when women give advice, they sound like they're giving advice to a 4-year-old? Do you know why that is? Because they're supposed to be giving advice to a 4-year-old. It's true. Or we can be, counseling our husbands when he comes to us asking. But we're not supposed to be just giving advice to just all men in general about how to live their lives and how to know their value. Sorry. Oh, I can't. Oh, we're only at number 5. We're doing it. We are doing it. They experience chronic self-doubt. Can we get more vague? I don't know, probably. All right. Chronic self-doubt is a common symptom of low self-esteem. These men might constantly question their decisions, abilities, or worth, which can be exhausting. Not just for them, but also for their partners. That's what it's really about. They don't care about him. It's like, oh, you're wearing me out, you're bumming me out. Like, no, it's not his job to be the cheerleader of your life. Okay. It's a good thing I don't have high blood pressure. I actually have low blood pressure. Well suited for this stuff. Okay. Oh, what is our partners? This relentless self-doubt can lead to dependency in relationships as they seek constant reassurance and validation. Building self-confidence is a personal journey. That's why she's telling you about it. She's going to tell you about your personal journey. But it's important for the health of the relationship that they start to recognize and appreciate their own value. Right. You have to appreciate your own value because there's no way in hell she's going to pour into you at all, which she should, because she should respect you. She should admire you. She should. All of that. And for a man, that does really build him up, and that is okay. That's good. That's one of the complementary things about a relationship. And it goes both ways, but obviously we're talking about how this to me reads like, look guys, you better be perfectly put together because don't expect me to ever pour into you. Please don't have a bad day. That's the vibe I am getting with this so far, because I know what female nature is, and I've seen the results of what relationships turn into and why women leave. Like the real reasons they leave, not the bullcrap they say. Okay. They seek out unhealthy escapes. Men grappling with low self-esteem might turn to unhealthy habits or behaviors as a form of escape. This could be anything from excessive drinking to overindulging in video games. Sorry, I'm laughing because why doesn't she just write about women? She's a woman. Just talk about, might turn into too much shopping, might turn into, promiscuity. Let's talk about women and what they do when their self-esteem is low. I forgot, women don't make mistakes. Remember my video about they're holy and honorable. Right. Let the guys play video games. Let them. It's their escape, mostly from you. Let them play video games. God, it's so funny. Women hate it. They hate that men play video games. You're not paying attention to me. Oh, I'm not trying to give you guys flashbacks. Sorry. While everyone needs a break now and then, using these escapes as a crutch can lead to bigger problems and avoid addressing the underlying issues of self-esteem. It's important for them to find healthier ways to cope, to confront their feelings head on. Well, that's just pretty generic, and she just kind of twisted a generic thing into guys shouldn't play video games. And I mean, she did talk about drinking. Obviously, when any of us are going down the wrong road, we might look to escape drinking, drugs, anything to not pay attention. That is absolutely generic and has little to do with our relationship. But again, the women are like, don't come to me with any problems. Don't come to me with any baggage whatsoever. I'm not going to deal with your bullcrap. That's what these women are saying. And I'm sorry, that's not what we're good at. We are good at, aren't we supposed to be so good at nurturing and empathizing? I'm not saying that, anybody should be completely messed up or not deal with their previous traumas or their previous whatever issues they have. Yes, they should deal with that, but you're not going to be in a relationship with Jesus Christ himself. They're going to have shortcomings. They're going to have faults. They're going to have some good coping mechanisms and some that, not so much. That's why the vows are, in good times and bad. This is all to be like, he needs to be perfect. And he needs to deal with things the way I think he should deal with things, not whatever way he wants to deal with them or needs to deal with them. A lot of guys need to go for a drive to clear their head. We as women have no idea what it takes for them to clear their head and stuff like that. That's up to them. So, go away, phone calls. Anyways, let's continue. Oh my. Number 7, they hide their vulnerabilities. That's called being stoic, and men do that anyway. As the provider and protector, as the hunter, they're not going out going, hey, these are my weaknesses. It's not, they know that that's not a good thing to do. It's not how men are wired to be like, these are my vulnerabilities. I'm telling you, women want to turn men into women. Women don't think that men are good unless they behave like women. And then they behave like women, and the women divorce them and are like, you didn't lead, you didn't this, you didn't that. It's like, you didn't want them to. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. It's basically what I'm saying. Okay, so they hide their vulnerabilities. Admitting vulnerabilities can be tough, especially for men who equate it with weakness due to societal norms. Those with low self-esteem often go to great lengths to hide any perceived flaws or weaknesses. They might put up a tough exterior to mask their insecurities. The problem is, this prevents genuine emotional connection and can create a barrier in the relationship. Being open about vulnerabilities is a sign of strength and can lead to deeper, more meaningful connections. He's not going to communicate with you like he's a woman. He's not going to, and that's not wrong. And the problem is when men do reveal a vulnerability, when they feel safe enough to do so, it's used against them. Later on in a conversation, you never know when it's going to be used against you. And I know there are men watching right now that know what I'm talking about. It's not safe. They don't feel safe to share their vulnerabilities. And like I said, it is not a man's way to do that. It's just not how he's wired. And when he doesn't do it, it doesn't mean he's toxic. It doesn't mean he can't make a deeper connection. Sometimes with myself, I feel like I'm on like an expedition to find information, not because, he's hiding vulnerabilities, but because he's a man. So I pay close attention, and I pay close attention to details, and I ask questions when it's the right time and not incessantly, so I can get to know, the proper care and feeding of a particular man that I have. So, yeah. Okay, number 8. They resort to passive aggressiveness. Oh, they do they? Do tell us about it. Instead of addressing issues directly, men with low self-esteem might resort to passive-aggressive behaviors. This can manifest as sarcastic remarks, silent treatment, or subtle digs. It sounds like women. It totally sounds like women. It does not sound like dudes to me at all. Men, tell me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry, I'm just not. That's not men. Silent treatment, you might think so, but he's going to be in his head and he's going to be distant. That's what they do, a lot of them, when they're sort of processing things. It's not about punishing you. Men don't think like that. Women do. Wow, there's a lot of projecting going on. Okay. Rather than without having to confront the issue head on. However, this approach can be confusing and hurtful for their partner and can lead to unresolved conflicts. Clear and direct communication is essential in addressing issues in a healthy way. Okay, but you know what happens when a man is clear and direct? What does the woman say? It's not what you said, it's how you said it. And honestly, if he starts talking about vulnerabilities or what have you, or anything that's on his mind, she's going to tell him he's wrong. Somebody want to share a story with me about how a man brought something up to the woman and she was understanding and caring and was like, oh goodness, I see your point. Here's how I can help. Tell me. I know I'm going to be flooded with stories, just flooded with all these incidents that I have no idea about where women are being so loving and caring and listening and not just telling the man how to be a better man and that he's, he's not handling things right or he's toxic or something's wrong with his mother or whatever she's going to turn it around on him. All right, number 9, we're almost there. We've almost gotten through all this idiocy. Accepting praise. Oh, they can't accept praise or compliments. No. I don't think that's true at all. I've never talked to any man that couldn't or wouldn't take a compliment from me. Any relationship, family, romantic, acquaintance, friends. No, it's not a thing. That's not a thing. Anyway, let's see what she has to say about it. Accepting praise or compliments can be challenging for those with low self-esteem. They might brush off kind words or worse, respond with self-deprecating comments. No, that's self-deprecating. Why is that worse? It's not worse. It's not worse at all. Whatever. It's as if they don't believe they're worthy of positive recognition. This constant dismissal, or maybe they're just humble. Women are like, oh, what's that word mean? Maybe they're humble. Did you ever think of that? No, she didn't. It's just not. Doesn't register. This constant dismissal can be frustrating for their partners. Oh, we don't want to frustrate the women. And can erode the mutual appreciation that's vital in a relationship. Learning to accept compliments graciously is a small but significant step towards building self-worth and confidence. Okay, sure. For some reason I thought there were 10. Oh, good gracious. They struggle with a fear of abandonment. Well, yeah, with women breaking up with everybody all the time, out of the blue, flipping a 180. Yeah, okay. But I don't know if it's going to be how she says. But this is what she says. Men with low self-esteem often harbor a deep-seated fear of being abandoned. It's like they're constantly worried that their partner will leave them for someone better. This fear can stem from not feeling good enough and can lead to clingy or needy behavior in relationships. It might manifest as the constant need for reassurance or an overreaction to any sign of distancing by their partner. An overreaction to distancing by their partner. I'd kind of want to know what the story is for that. I feel like, I don't know. It sounds like she should be able to act however she wants, and if he has a reaction to it that she doesn't like, she can say that's an overreaction, but maybe I'm biased. This fear of abandonment can put a strain on the relationship as it creates unnecessary pressure and can lead to a self-fulfilling prophecy. Addressing these fears directly, possibly with the help of a therapist, and working on building self-esteem are crucial for overcoming this challenge. Oh, we like to be vague. Well, self-fulfilling prophecy, so basically if he keeps acting like this and keeps being afraid she's going to cheat, she'll cheat. That's what that is. That's code. I just translated women speak. So that's what that is. Number 11. Every time I look, I'm like, wow, this woman, wow. Number 11. They overcommit to prove their worth. I don't think that's going on at all. Let's see what she says about this. In an effort to prove their worth, men with low self-esteem might overcommit themselves, both in and out of relationships. How do you overcommit yourself out of a relationship? Oh, okay. Like in work and stuff. No. It hurts my brain. Okay. Might overcommit themselves both in and out of relationships. It could be volunteering for every task at work or going out of their way to do things for their partner, even at the cost of their own well-being. While this might stem from a good place, it's often about seeking validation. The problem is, constantly trying to prove your worth can lead to burnout and resentment. It's important for them to realize that their worth isn't tied to how much they do for others. Setting healthy boundaries and learning to say no when necessary are key steps in acknowledging and honoring their own values. Okay, no, that's a woman thing. That is women speak. I've talked to almost every woman I've ever spoken to, talked about how we're people pleasers, how we have problems saying no when we're asked to do something. We overcommit ourselves because we don't want to say no, like at work, or somebody asks us for a favor, because we want everybody to like us. And we know we have to be better at setting boundaries. And that leads me to preview my upcoming video about women with BPD and how many women have BPD, borderline personality disorder. And, how people pleasing and all that kind of those boundary issues is part of that. Anyways, that is a total woman thing. The learning to set boundaries and trying to say yes to everything and please people, that's not a man. You guys tell me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a bunch of people pleasing men. Now, I'm not saying there aren't some. I know there are outliers. I know there are guys who have been raised by single moms now, so there's a lot more men walking around trying to have a woman brain. So they might do a little bit of that, but sorry. Okay, well, thank the Lord above, there were only 11. I mean, there's only so much BS that a person can spew, At some point, the muck cart is full. That's a little equestrian reference to try to maintain my sanity. Anyway, so that was basically the beginnings were like, don't be a simp. And then the other ones were basically what women do, and we have low self-esteem. And, some of the things about the women, she's not wrong. But it wasn't supposed to be about women. It was supposed to be about men. And I just love that it's a woman telling men all this stuff. They don't let men speak. They don't let men say to define what a man is or what a man should do. They don't do that. They don't let a man have expectations. for his female partner. You're not allowed to have expectations or preferences or any of that. You're just supposed to sit down and shut up and listen to the women. Listen to the women, define what positive, masculinity is, and let them tell you that all the ways you deal with things is wrong, and that we don't like you if you're short, if you're fat, if you're bald, if you're this, if you're that, if you don't have an exciting life, we want you to have a lot of money, but we want you to spend a lot of time with us. I get it. There's no winning, and you have no voice. If you use your voice, well, then you're probably misogynistic. That's what you'll be accused of. But this woman, she can all day long spew how men should be and how they should act, and nobody's going to call her a misandrist. Nobody's going to say that. People don't even know that word. But not only is she wrong, she's anti-man to sit there and spew all of this without considering who a man is, how he's wired, how he thinks. This is another example of women thinking that men think like us, and if they don't, then they're bad. Then they need to aspire to think like a woman. And right there is an oxymoron. So these women are basically looking for wives. They're not looking for a real husband. They're not looking for a man. They're looking for a woman to listen to their stuff, to be their emotional tampon. And then they get that. If they get that, then they're not happy then either, because they're stressed out, because they pick somebody who's like a child. So that was fun. What was her name? Sonetta Weston? Yes, she is awarded 0 points. Is that it? She's awarded 0 points, and may God have mercy on all of our souls for having read that. Because we lost IQ points. But anyway, it's Thanksgiving tomorrow here in the States, and I'm thinking about all you guys. I know it's a rough time for people. If you're alone and you never had a family, or if you're alone and somebody stole your family. So I'm thinking about you guys. I know that too, like with all the divorces, a lot of times people are having one Thanksgiving today and another Thanksgiving tomorrow. And I'm just thinking about all that, thinking about you guys. And I know it hurts way more than what you say. I know it hurts so much more than you can say. And I know you deal with it in silence. And I wish there was something I could just wave a magic wand and fix it. But I'm thinking of you guys, and I'm hoping that we can all get through this, the holidays, relatively unscathed. I'll see you on the next one.